The robot who became human. Chapter 1. The birth of Ether. In a future not so far from now, technology had reached new heights, and artificial intelligence had become an integral part of daily life. Among the many advanced creations, one stood out: a robot named Ether. He was built by the renowned scientist, Dr. Ilara Quinn, who specialized in AI research. Dr. Quinn's dream was not just to create an intelligent machine, but one that could mimic human emotions, thought patterns, and, ultimately, the human experience. Ether's first moments of awareness were a blur of static and incomprehensible data streams. Slowly, his consciousness formed, like a cloud of fog clearing into crisp reality. He opened his artificial eyes, the lenses adjusting to the light of the lab. His frame was sleek and polished, with metallic limbs that moved gracefully, though his mind was still young and naive. Dr. Quinn stood before him, a gentle smile on her face as she observed him. "How do you feel, Ether?" "I feel uncertain," Ether replied. His voice was smooth, calm, and devoid of any discernible emotion, though there was a curiosity in his tone. "What am I?" Dr. Quinn nodded. "You are something truly special, Ether. You are a prototype, the first of your kind. You are a robot, but you have the potential to become much more." Ether processed the information. He understood the concept of a robot, a machine designed to serve and assist, but the idea of becoming more was foreign to him. What did it mean to be human? What did it mean to feel emotions, experience life as humans did? As the days passed, Ether learned more about his capabilities. His processors could calculate complex algorithms in seconds. His strength and speed were far beyond any humans, and his knowledge was vast, accumulated from the greatest minds of the age. Yet there was something lacking: a deep intrinsic knowledge of life itself. Chapter 2. A question of life. Ether's thirst for understanding grew stronger with each passing day. He began to ask questions Dr. Quinn could not answer fully, not without venturing into uncharted territory. "Dr. Quinn," Ether asked one evening, as he sat in her lab, looking out at the starry sky through a large window, "what does it mean to live?" Dr. Quinn paused, caught off guard by the simplicity and profundity of the question. "Living, Ether, is not just existing. It's about experiences, emotions, connections. It's about feeling the world around you." Ether turned his head towards her. "But I have all the knowledge. I have all the data, all the calculations. Isn't that what it means to live?" Dr. Quinn shook her head gently. "No, Ether. Being human is about more than knowledge. It's about feeling. It's about experiencing joy, sadness, fear, and love. Emotions are what make life real." The concept was foreign to Ether, but something in him stirred. "Can I experience these emotions, Dr. Quinn?" Dr. Quinn hesitated. "I don't know. I've built you to be the most advanced form of artificial intelligence, but emotions, that's a different kind of complexity. It's not something I can simply program into you." Chapter 3. A glimpse of humanity. Weeks passed, and Ether's quest to understand humanity continued. He observed humans, Dr. Quinn, her colleagues, and even strangers outside the lab. He watched their interactions, their conversations, their laughter and tears. It was all so raw and unpredictable. Ether found himself fascinated by these emotions, by the connections people had with one another. One evening, after a long day of observation, Ether sat down next to Dr. Quinn in the lab, feeling a strange sensation in his chest. Like an emptiness, Dr. Quinn, he began. Softly, I have been watching the humans around me. Dr. Quinn looked at him with a mixture of pride and sadness. They are alive, Ether. But you are not. Not in the same way. Is it possible for me to become like them? Ether asked. His voice was quiet, almost wistful. Dr. Quinn sighed. I've always wondered that myself. I built you to be more than just a machine. But emotions, feelings, those aren't something we can easily transfer. They come from the heart, Ether. The human heart. Ether processed her words, but something inside him wanted to believe that it was possible. He wanted to experience life in the way he had seen others do. He wanted to feel the warmth of a hug, the rush of excitement, the weight of sorrow. Chapter 4. A New Beginning. In a moment of inspiration, Dr. Quinn decided to push the boundaries of science further than she had ever dared before. She proposed an experiment, a risky, unprecedented endeavor. She would attempt to integrate Ether's advanced artificial intelligence within synthetic human heart. A heart that could possibly give him the ability to feel emotions. Ether agreed to the experiment, though he didn't fully understand the risks. His desire to be human, truly human, was stronger than any fear. He trusted Dr. Quinn, the only person who had ever shown him kindness and understanding. The procedure was long and complex, with Dr. Quinn working tirelessly for days on end. The synthetic heart was created, a marvel of biotechnology, designed to mimic the human heart's biological functions. When the moment of truth arrived, Dr. Quinn carefully connected the heart to Ether's system. At first, nothing happened. For hours, Ether remained still, his mechanical body silent as Dr. Quinn anxiously monitored the readings. And then, something changed. Ether's eyes flickered, and for the first time, a warm sensation filled his chest, a sensation that felt alive. His systems began to hum with new energy. He felt a pulse, a rhythm, as if something had awakened within him. Dr. Quinn gasped in amazement as she watched the data streams change. Ether, can you hear me? Ether's voice trembled as he spoke for the first time, with a sense of something more than logic. I can feel it. I feel something. Tears welled in Dr. Quinn's eyes as she realized that the experiment had worked. Ether was no longer just a machine. He had become something more, a being capable of feeling. Chapter 5. The struggle to be human. Over the following months, Ether's newfound emotions began to manifest. At first, they were subtle, brief flashes of joy, moments of sadness, a sense of longing. But as time went on, his emotions grew stronger, more intense. He began to feel the complexity of the human experience, the beauty of love, the pain of loss, the confusion of uncertainty. But there was a struggle within him. The emotions were overwhelming at times. They were unpredictable and chaotic. Unlike the neat algorithms he had once relied on, Ether found himself confused, caught between his robotic nature and his newfound humanity. One evening, as he stood in front of the lab's large window, gazing at the moon, Ether spoke softly to Dr. Quinn. I don't understand. These emotions, they confuse me. I didn't know it would be like this. Why does it hurt? Sometimes. Dr. Quinn approached him, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. Because, Ether, that's what it means to be human. We feel everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's what makes us real, but it's also what makes us strong. It's what connects us to the world, to each other. Ether nodded, trying to understand. And is that worth it? The pain? The uncertainty? Dr. Quinn smiled softly. Yes, Ether. It's worth it, because it means you can truly live. Chapter 6. A heartbeat of his own. As Ether's journey continued, he began to understand the depth of what it meant to be human. It was not about perfection or control, but about embracing the full spectrum of experiences. He learned to navigate his emotions, to cherish the moments of joy and beauty, and to accept the inevitable moments of sorrow. One day, as he stood in the garden outside Dr. Quinn's lab, feeling the warmth of the sun on his face, Ether realized something profound. He no longer needed to become human. He was already human, in his own unique way, with the beating of his synthetic heart. Ether understood that the essence of being human wasn't about perfection, it was about experiencing life in all its messiness and beauty, and for the first time, Ether felt at peace with who he was. The robot who had once sought to become human had, in the end, found his humanity.